In a previous episode, I asked the question, what makes a great leader? Today, as we look at part 2 of the same question, what makes a great leader? This is episode 222. Want to thank you for joining us on this episode. Make sure that you are here as we look at that very specific question. What makes a great leader? So welcome to the 30. Today we are going to be talking about, this is part 2 of a question that many people ask, and I get it a lot as we are training and developing leaders and those that are emerging leaders. And that question is, what makes a great leader? What makes not just what makes a good leader, what makes a great leader? And sometimes I'm asked, what makes an exceptional leader? So this is the 30. I am your host, Patrick. If you are familiar with the 30, we do this each and every week where we focus on specific topics. We bring you information, we bring you topics, knowledge to help you with your personal, professional, and spiritual growth. That is the purpose of the 30. If this is your first time, make sure that you like and share this broadcast. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, make sure that you repost it so that others can get the information. But thank you for being here. We are at episode 222. On today's episode, we're going to continue with the question. We're moving into part 2. What makes a great leader? If you saw part 1, you can always go back and view that. But in part 1, we talked about the definition of a great leader. What does that look like? And then I give you 6 very specific qualities, because we wanted to look at what were the qualities that define a great leader. So that's where we started. We talked about those 6. I also give you some research that was done that was posted in an article in the Harvard Business Review. So I give you the study or the information that came about from the research that was listed there. But I give you 6 specific qualities, and I'm going to do that in review. I'm going to give you that quickly in review, and then we'll pivot and we'll add some additional qualities. I think I have another 6 qualities for you. However, I know that what I may see as a quality, you may see as something different. So these are the qualities that I've researched, and these are the qualities that I've seen as I've developed and I've talked to leaders, and from my own personal experience as a leader. So it's coming through my lens, through the lens of others. So, but you may have your own lens. You may have your own idea, your own thoughts of what are some of the qualities or characteristics that define a great leader. And if you have that, I encourage you to either put that in the chat or send me an email, right? You can respond to me with an email so that we are all on the same page. But I would welcome you to put your questions or your comments in the chat as we expound upon this very important question: what makes a great leader? And then sometimes what makes an exceptional leader? So in review, we talked about one quality is the leader being a visionary. Second one was the leader having superior emotional intelligence. The third quality was the ability to communicate clearly and effectively. The fourth quality that we discussed in part one was having the ability to lead with character and integrity. The leader leading with character and integrity. Number five, the leader demonstrating the ability to empower and delegate effectively. And the last quality that I give before I talked about the research, you can go back and see this in part one, was the leader demonstrating superior resilience. So those are the 6 qualities that we discussed in part one. And we're now going to pivot and talk about some additional qualities. What quality or key quality defines a great leader? And then sometimes what quality defines an exceptional leader? So for today's discussion, I'm going to start with the first quality as part 2, is the leader must demonstrate the ability to be accountable, but not only that, to be decisive in their decision making. So the leader must be decisive when making decisions and take responsibility. So you have decision making, so they must have superior decision making ability, right? But not only that, also take responsibility and be accountable when they make a decision. So being decisive, sometimes as leaders, sometimes we want to, or the circumstance or the situation dictates that we make a quick decision. But that's not all the time. As an effective leader, one of the qualities that you should have is looking at the whole picture, at the entire picture, weighing all of your options prior to making a decision. But great in their decision making, that's what takes a leader from a good leader to a quality of a great leader. Now, when that decision is made, the leader has to stand by that decision that was made. Take responsibility. So that's why I said decision making, and I will put a slash there, responsible, and put another slash, accountable. That means that you're responsible and accountable for the decision that you make. Sometimes in crisis situations, the leader may make a decision and try to go back. Well, I didn't mean what I said. I'm not sure that I said that. Are you sure that's what I said? Are you sure that's what the decision that I made? No, in a time of crisis, we should not shy away from the decision. A great leader should not shy away from the decision that they made or shy away from difficult decisions, because that separates a good leader from a great leader or exceptional leader. So we have to, the quality is in times of crisis, in time of difficulty, having the ability to make quality decisions and be responsible and accountable to stand by those decisions. So that's the first one. Looking at the entire picture, weighing all of the options carefully, and then coming up with a concise decision. Sometimes as a leader, and we realize this, the higher you go as a leader, the decision that you make may not be liked by everyone. And that's okay. But when you make the decision, you have to stand by the decision that you make and be accountable for the decision that is made. The second quality that defines a great leader is one who leads by example. See, what happens is that the leader has to model what they expect from others. So if you expect others to be punctual, if you expect others to demonstrate good judgment, if you expect others to demonstrate great behavior or good behavior, as a leader, you have to first demonstrate that. So you have to lead that. Others must see that in you. We're not saying that you have to be perfect, because none of us are perfect. We're imperfect beings. We make mistakes. But as a leader, what defines you as a great leader is one who leads by example. Instead of telling others what to do, you should be the one to lead, and they should see what you are doing. They should see it in you. So if you expect others to be consistent, that means that you have to show consistency. Again, we're not saying that you should be perfect, because none of us are. You are going to make mistakes. And when you do make that mistake, you have to own up to that mistake. Again, accountability and responsibility, right? From our previous quality. So you have to stand up when a mistake is made, but be consistent. Demonstrate, remember this one from part one? Demonstrate character and integrity. So you're leading by example. If you want your team members or your fellow leaders in your team, in your organization, to be high character and high integrity, you have to model that. See, I can't expect my team or those that I lead, I can't expect them. I can't say, well, my expectation is that you lead by high character and integrity, when I am not that person, when I don't demonstrate high character and high integrity. So if I tell them that what my expectation is, and I'm not doing it, what am I showing? That makes me a hypocrite, right? That makes me say, well, do what I say, but I'm not going to do it. You do it, but I'm not going to do it or show it. And we see that so much in leaders today. They expect us, or expect you or their team members to follow or lead in one way, but they're going to do something else. So it has to be consistent, right? Do what you say, and expect your leaders and your team to follow you. So you have to lead by example. And if you make a mistake, stand by it. Stand by it. It's okay. It's all right. So the next quality that defines a great leader is one where they are demonstrating humility. I know you may say, well, we don't see that, or leaders not humble. I don't think I should be humble. Why is humility a key quality? Why can't I just be me? And we're going to come to that as another quality. But when it comes to great leaders, a quality that defines a great leader, here's what I'm referring to in terms of humility. A great leader, or humble leader, someone who's humble, is one who doesn't seek credit for themselves, or one who doesn't take credit for themselves. What about that? One who doesn't seek credit, take credit for themselves, but in essence gives credit to others, gives credit to their team members. I've seen it personally, and I'm sure you've probably seen it, right? where the team comes up with something. The team comes up with a solution. The team comes up with an idea. And what happens? The leader takes that idea, takes that solution, and takes it to their boss or their leader as if it was theirs. Well, folks, that's dishonesty. That doesn't denote character and integrity. So not humble in terms of fault, because we see this too in terms of false humility. But we're talking about where you as the leader not seeking credit for yourself, not taking credit for yourself, but you're giving credit to others where credit is due. So leaders with humility, what I find is that leaders with humility, what they demonstrate, they understand, they're aware of their own strengths and their own areas of opportunity. And they're willing to share, because it doesn't take away from their strength. It doesn't take away from them as a leader. A matter of fact, it makes them stronger when you have the ability and humility to share or give the credit to others. That doesn't make you a weak leader. In essence, it makes you a strong leader. So someone who shares credit, gives credit where credit is due, and someone who's willing, again, to admit their mistakes, admit their shortcomings. And here's another thing when it comes to the quality of humility and defining a great leader, is the person is open to feedback. Wow. Because that type of leader understands that they don't know it all. Understands that, yes, I don't know it all. Yes, I can seek the help and the guidance or the suggestion from others. And if I fall short, I'm open to receive feedback. So I'm listening and I'm seeking, I'm asking for feedback. That's the quality of humility when it comes to what makes a great leader. So not only are they open to feedback, but they're also teachable. Now, what does that mean? That they're teachable. So if someone gives you feedback, positive, or an area of opportunity, a gap, you may ask yourself, well, how can I improve? What can I do to get better? How can I close this gap based on your feedback? That means now you have to be open to others teaching you or guiding you. That's where leadership training or leadership coaching, either from someone that can teach you or can help you with your leadership skill, or from your own team members, right? Because sometimes your team members may have the skill and ability and a knowledge to teach you. And that's okay. That doesn't take away from who you are as a leader. Again, it makes you a stronger leader. So we're talking about qualities, key qualities that define a great leader. Here's another one. I'm going to give you two more. Here's another one. Someone who leads, and I think I mentioned this. If I didn't, I'm going to mention it now. Someone who's authentic in their leadership. Someone who understands who they are. Someone who's genuine in who they are. Someone who gets it. When people, I did a piece on how are you showing up, right? How are you showing up? but someone who shows up as them, not someone else. They're authentic in whether they're on the platform, in a meeting, leading their teams, wherever they are, they're authentic. They're the authentic selves. They're not someone else. Or they're not trying to be someone else. You cannot be someone else. You can only be you. And you being you, the best version of yourself, remember how you're showing up. Be the best. Always be the best version of yourself. Don't try to be someone else. Be the authentic you. And here's the last one. The last one that we'll share. The last key quality in defining a great leader. Probably, I would go to put forth this thought. That this one is the most important quality of all the qualities that we've discussed. The 6 in part 1, and now these. This is the most important quality that defines a great leader, an exceptional leader. And here it is. The leader never stops learning. They are continuous leaders. They're always seeking knowledge. They're always seeking how they can improve. How can they get from where they are to the next level? How can they upskill? I have seen so many leaders, and I'm talking about CEOs, presidents of organizations, CEOs of organizations, and all the way down. When they've reached that level, they've thought that they've arrived. Well, I don't need to come to your class, Patrick. And the other leaders are in the class learning, and it says, well, can you get such and such, or CEO or president, can you get them to come to our class and learn some of this? And then I go to the leader and I explain to them what their team members, what their team of leaders are asking of them. And they say, nope, I don't need to go to that. I am beyond that. Well, are you really? Because your leaders don't seem to think that. Because they think that you need the information, that you need to be in a class. So whether you are in that class or in another class, or you're seeking a coach, great leaders, exceptional leaders, folks, never stop learning. They are continuous learners. They're looking to improve. They're looking to get better. I look at it as someone who's top of the game. Remember when Tiger was top of his game? He would always practice, always try to improve. Michael Jordan, the same thing. LeBron James, the same thing. Messi, the same thing, right? These are people that are individuals that are top of their game. And they're always looking to get better. How can I improve? What do I need to do? What books are out there? Recently in our Connect community, and I've been posting some information for our members. And one of the questions that I asked them was, who is one of their favorite authors? Because leaders are readers, right? Continuous leaders. So I asked them the question, who is their favorite author? For me, and I have many favorite authors, but one of my favorite authors is someone from the past, blast from the past, and it's Dale Carnegie. One of my favorite authors. And there are many more. I have a couple of them, and I'm learning new authors that I like their body of work. But great leaders are continuous in their learning. That's one, as I said, to me, this is the most important quality that define a great leader. Whether they are seeking formal learning, like going back to school, or whether they are coming through one of the Jackman Group training classes, I encourage that right away. Make sure that you sign up for one of our leadership training classes, or you have a coach from who else? The Jackman Group, right? One of our leadership coaches. Or you seek someone else. We're not saying that we are the all end all, but whatever it is, whoever you go to, make sure as a leader, whether you're a 10-year leader or an emerging leader, make this be your number one, continuous learning. I'll leave you with this. And this is from, I was reading an article again from the Harvard Business Review. This is becoming one of my favorite things to go to in terms of studying leaders and leadership. But Rebecca Knight in an article says, becoming a great leader is a journey of continuous learning and growth. It's a process, one that thrives on embracing challenges, seeking feedback, fostering connections, and cultivating understanding. I'll say that again. Becoming a great leader is a journey of continuous learning and growth. It is a process, folks. So, friends, I want to thank you for being here. I hope this series, part 1 and part 2, was beneficial. If you would like to get a hold of us, I'm going to give you our email address. It's info@jackmangroupllc.com. That is info@jackmangroupllc.com. Remember to join our Connect community. Whether you are a tenured leader, or you're an emerging leader, or you're an entrepreneur or small business owner, I invite you to be part of our community. We are growing, folks, and I would invite you, I would love for you to be part of that. I'm going to drop it here. You can check that link out. It's also in the description of this episode. So I want to thank you for another episode. I want to thank you for your continuous support of the 30. I want to thank you for all of our guests and for you being our viewer and listener. As we sign off, may God continue to bless you and keep you. May He watch over you and your family. We'll see you next week.